Rock 100.5, the KATT live from Rocklahoma 2018, brought to you by Rock and Brews Restaurant. Eat, drink, rock on. Umbrella Vapor and Oklahoma RV Center and more, home of the no dock fees. And we are live inside the KATT booth with Stone Temple Pilots.
How's
Eric
it going,
Kretz is here, the drummer, and we've got Jeff Gutt, the brand new lead singer.
Brand spanking.
How you doing, man?
Awesome, man. Awesome.
He's doing great. You know, when we came in, it's funny you're talking about trailers. There's some beautiful trailers out there coming in.
You guys doing some shopping?
Yeah, there's a whole community hanging out
there.
there.
I mean, it'd be 3 days, it'd be a little tough in a tent.
Yeah.
Especially when you're gonna when people are gonna be that hungover. But being in one of those nice trailers.
How hard is it on stage when you come to an event like this? It's gonna be 93-ish. You get up on stage in front of all those people with the lights and everything else. Like
I like to wear diapers so I can just relieve myself.
It's got to be a grind, though, right? I mean, you get into the summer festival season.
It's great, man. It's hot. It's
and hot, it's a nightmare. And then you're dancing around and expending all that energy.
It's a workout.
So I didn't know this until I was looking at some info when they said that I was going to be talking to you, Eric. I didn't realize you wrote the lyrics to Plush.
Wrote part of them, yeah.
Just part of them, okay.
Yeah, we wrote it together, yeah.
Does that mean that's probably the signature song? If you mention Stone Temple Pilots to somebody, that's the song they think of immediately.
And everyone's still trying to figure out what the hell we're talking about.
I have no idea.
Me included.
Yeah, yeah. And you're singing the song, you don't know what it means.
Nah, I got a little.
Yeah,
I got
you got a little inside scoop.
A little grasp.
Yeah. No, I think that's cool that most people, with the exception obviously of Rush and maybe the Eagles, you don't think about the drummer being a lyricist.
Yeah.
So the fact that you wrote that and it really is sort of the song that most people would think of with Stone Temple Pilots is cool.
Yeah, it worked out to be a beautiful little ditty, didn't it?
Yeah. I was telling somebody on the drive over here that, and he disagreed with me, but I always said I didn't think that Stone Temple Pilots, as big as you guys were, I don't think you were as big as you deserve to be. I think that you listen back to those old songs, look at what you guys have been doing from the get-go, and I think that I think you guys were putting out quality music as good or better than anybody else that was recording at the time.
Yeah, it was a great time. Actually, all the bands that were coming out in the early 90s were all fucking great. It was really
for sure.
It was really exciting to be part of that movement because when I hear that stuff on the radio and the flashbacks and stuff like that nowadays, they're all so great.
Now here's the crazy thing. This cat was in high school when you guys were having those big hits.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah, but when you ask him what his influences were and what his dad turned him on to, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And my dad turned me on to. And
so, Jeff, when they come to you, and I'm not sure exactly how this worked out, I do remember the first rumor that you were going to be the singer, and then there was a denial, and then we found out later that you actually were going to be the singer. There was talk that they were working with several people and trying to figure out who they were going to play with.
Yeah.
And this was on the heels of the Chester Bennington stuff. When you get that nod, you're going to have to go on. This is a band that you did listen to when you were in high school and was, even though I think not as big as they could or should have been, one of the biggest bands in the world at the time. How intimidating is it that all of a sudden you're going to have to go on stage and sing those songs and be that guy?
I'm not really an intimidatable guy, but for me, it's I love their band so much that I felt like they deserved to move on and move forward and continue their journey.
Well, here's what's cool about it, and we were listening to a couple of the tunes, the new songs that you did on the way over here, and it's interesting that it's unlike the Chester Bennington stuff. It is sort of Mark II Stone Temple Pilots, but it still has that flavor of the original, and I don't know if that speaks to you guys. I don't know if that speaks to just the style of the band. I don't know if it speaks to your vocal style meshing more with what they have always done. But there is a possibility that some people could listen to that record if they don't know the backstory and not realize that it's a completely different singer.
I did a lot of research.
Yeah?
many hours, days, maybe even months of research on the writing styles and the differences and what I could bring forward that made sense that I could do as myself to make it still sound like it was going to be a Stone Temple Pilots record. That's why it sounds like something new but familiar at the same time.
Was there any thought given to changing the name of the band?
No.
No? You didn't want to do that? Because there have been a lot of bands that have tried to do what you guys have done, and it didn't quite work out. The exceptions are Black Sabbath had a couple of singers that they were successful with. Deep Purple went through a few singers and were successful with them. But more often than not, you hear bands that replace a lead singer that's as big a part of the band and the image as Weiland was, and oftentimes it doesn't work. So
we had so many songs still to contribute.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love the new band, the new album, the new music. I love the fact that you guys are out again. I think it's kind of cool that you're doing that triple headliner tour that you guys are going to do. I'm upset that you're not coming back here yet.
There's only so many cities we could hit in 6 weeks.
But I love that. Well, it's the 6 weeks is the problem. That's what I'm saying. But it's you guys in Bush and the Cult. And, you listen to those three bands, specifically you guys in the Cult. There's another thing I was telling my buddy on the way over here.
Who's here tonight? Yeah,
you listen to those records. That record, the Electric album, which I think is one of the best rock albums ever, came out in 1987, and that could have come out 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's fantastic. When we did the announcement for the tour, we did a show in Los Angeles, and they had all the album covers from all three bands,
right?
Scattered, blown up and scattered across the wall. Remember how great it was?
It was
to see
insane.
that?
Just
like, oh god, that album's
before
great.
any people got there.
That album's great.
Yeah.
Before any people got there, just to walk around and to see the history and the impact that music has had.
What's the reaction from the fans that you guys are back and out on the road and doing the deal again?
It's been sold out everywhere, man. It's so great.
Yeah.
It's really, really great. And
well, we're excited to have you here.
we're playing a lot of the new music out, and everybody's singing along, going nuts with it. So,
But lest anybody think differently, you're going to play a lot of the old stuff too, right? I mean, this guy can sing it.
Yeah. It's now we get to pull out stuff that we haven't really busted into in about 20-something years.
Is there anything, Jeff, that's off limits that you're like, I don't want to sing that song, that's Scott's song, or anything that from the catalog that you didn't want to mess with?
Well, that's more up to these guys, but I have a particular thing with Sour Girl just because I feel that it's written, it's a personal message. So I don't know, To me that one's a little off limits, but other than that, I'm game.
So it clicked from day one, and you guys are out doing it.
Day one, when he came into the audition, man, he nailed it.
And the sky's the limit now. You guys are back, and you're going to be here.
He actually came in and sang "Piece of Pie," and no one had the balls to come in and hit something that hard.
I like it.
I had to do it first song because it was the one I didn't have memorized. It's the only one I didn't have memorized. I knew every other song. It was 7, and that was the one I had to
So did they give you homework? Did they say these are the songs you got to come in and sing?
Yeah, it was 7 songs. Yeah.
Were they all songs that you already knew?
Most of them I've been playing for ages.
Yeah.
Thank God I did Trippin' on a Hole 10 years before that for many years, so I was second nature.
It's another one of his songs.
Yeah. It's a tough thing because we wanted to give people a variety of songs to choose from because some people's voices were great for Interstate Love Song,
right.
But then when they got to Dead and Bloated, they just couldn't hit it.
Right.
Or something like Piece of Pie. Whereas Jeff could actually hit everything.
From what I've heard, I think you can sing them all. And you're right, Dead and Bloated, I didn't think about that, but
yeah.
that's a harder song to sing probably than some of the other ones. So
you got to have razor blades in your throat to hit
right.
that thing.
That's right.
Luckily I do.
Well, listen, man, best of luck to you guys. We're glad that you're back. We hope to see you again.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you
Glad
guys
to
are going
be
to
here.
get. You're going to get to play tonight before you get overheated and have to leave the stage.
No, we're slated for an hour, so it's just
Okay.
going to be a drag race for an hour here.
Well,
We're just
keep
gonna
us
hit
in
that
mind in Oklahoma City if you extend that tour or when you guys go out without the other two bands and come back and give us a bigger show.
I got a feeling that tour is going to do really well.
I do too.
We might have to extend it. It's going to do so well.
It's Eric Kretz and Jeff Gutt from Stone Temple Pilots. They're playing tonight, night 1 at Rocklahoma in Pryor. Thanks for coming, fellas.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Enjoyed
thank
it.
you.
Glad to be here.
We are live from Rocklahoma, the KATT booth, brought to you by Rock and Brews Restaurant, Eat, Drink, Rock On, Umbrella Vapor, and Oklahoma RV Center, and more, home of the no dock fees. More from Rocklahoma coming up at KATT.com.